Speaking of what's not boring, or going on to something that isn't boring, that Rome Streets album was fire.
It is.
It,
It's
it,
also,
it's
it
an album
is.
that and I hate to throw another artist in this, but this is the album that I personally wanted Joey Badass to make.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Like just
I
when I
agree.
when I got aware of Joey, man, I knew about Joey since he was like 17, 18. But just what him and Capital Steez was doing, I thought we were gonna get an album like this from him at some point in his career. And I like Joey's music. But
Me too.
this Rome Streets, man, he going for it. And the features on here, everybody's going for it. And that's like, I love Benny's verse on here. And I love Conway's verse on there. I feel like everybody stepped it up because he was bringing it. And the beats, the production, man, Conductor went crazy on this album.
So this is what I'm about to say.
Hmm.
Not the production is better than Soul Sold Separately, but some of these beats, Mike, just on some rap shit. It's just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, like that's wonderful. It's just on some raps mixtape shit.
Yeah, it's a hardcore shit.
Right. It doesn't feel. How about this? This album is great because the songs are great. It doesn't feel like an album, really wasn't put together like an album. And content wise, I mean, I get the title of the album is Kiss the Ring. So it's like, it's a Flex album with Flex Records. But it's like, and this is what I'll say. Well, you can't beat the organized album that's just as well produced.
Yeah, but I think this album did what it was supposed to do.
Right.
Yeah.
How about, I think what I told you is I think this is better than Stove the God's Reasonable Drought, and that's high praise.
Yeah, that's high praise. I'm not sure if I'm there yet, but that's high praise. I like it a lot.
How about this? From beginning to end, it's a better project. He just doesn't have those moments like Stove does where you're like, that guy's a star. Like Break the Pyrex, it's like, no, Stove's a star.
Yeah.
Money Puddles, Stove's a star. So Rome doesn't have that, but from beginning to end, a better project. Once again, Mike, Stove and Benny. Oh, Stove showed out too, Mike. Stove's a star. Like
I
Benny
think that might be my favorite song on the album.
It is my favorite
Blow
song. That
Blow.
might be the best beat on there too, Mike. The beat is crazy. I heard that. That's one of those beats when I heard it, I was like, that make me want to rap again.
Yo, Conductor was going crazy on here.
He went crazy on there. And it's definitely the best selection of beats Conductor's ever put together.
That's saying a lot. I fuck with Conductor. On
one project for the amount of work that he did for one project, yeah, like that's the best production work that he's done. And in all honesty, and here's my main takeaway from the Rome Streetz album. Oh, you can tell Westside put this shit together. This sounds better than the other Griselda projects this year, quite frankly.
Westside is a genius when it comes to putting together projects.
Because like, isn't this better than Tana Talk 3 to you? I mean, Tana Talk 4? Isn't this better than Tana Talk 4 to you?
I like it better. I'm going to be honest.
Me too.
I need to go back and listen because I think
I just went back and listened to Tana Talk 4.
What I will give Tana Talk 4 is the fact that it does have those structures, but this one right here is just, like you said, on some mixtape rap shit.
How about this? This is what I mean. Think about the back 2 times with Stove, and then think about the Stove and Benny record on here, What's Winning.
Yeah.
You feel me? Think about putting the Conway record, Tyson versus Ali versus the Conway record on here. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
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 Oh, Badly says, women say that they don't like B or H words and no one stopped. It's a little different because they say it too on records. And you know, and Trina just got a Lifetime Achievement Award and her debut album is The Baddest Bitch. So, you know.
And you have to understand, there are some women that literally don't respond to men unless he literally talks to her like, bitch, bring your ass here. Like, there are women like that will tell you, it's like, no, I don't respond unless my nigga talk to me that way. You're like, oh, okay, you need therapy and a hug and a psychological evaluation afterwards. But okay.
Let me get through these super chats because I know they're kind of behind on the subject real quick.
Oh, we are?
Jay Short says, let's keep it 100. Joe wasn't popular enough in the 90s to create a controversy over the use of the N-word. Wasn't nobody buying the album to hear it. He was a singles artist, and people heard edits.
You want to know what? I would agree with that, except for I very vividly remember him on Lean Back say, "Niggas be mad." Like, doesn't he say that on that third verse? Niggas be mad when I'm in the building, so that's why something with the chinchilla hurt they feeling. So no, he didn't use the N-word on his biggest song. Like his biggest song is Lean Back. He's using the N-word on Lean Back. So it's not true.
007 with the super chat says Styler's retiring in 2023.
Who?
Stylers. You talking about Styles P? He says, but we'll do 2 more albums. How much do our older rappers have left in the tank? Do Cole or others pick up the slack? I think you might be talking about Styles P.
I don't believe that. Styles loves to rap too much, unless he's just literally spiritually in another place where he feels like it might be conflicting with some things. But that's what he said. Niggas be mad when you worth some millions. That's why I sport the chinchilla, hurt their feelings. You can catch Fat Joe all types of event. Front row down in Vegas at the fights and shit. That's him on Lean Back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's using the N-word on Lean Back. That's his biggest hit record. So he's been getting away with this for a long time.
Yeah. Andre Shashir says Ahmaud Arbery's mom was pissed at Kanye wearing the shirt too. She called it a mockery to Black Lives Matter. I bet she was, you know. She lost a son.
Well, that platform use dead black bodies as a platform to nefariously, like, and organizationally and structurally make themselves millionaires for certain people and left those people without nothing, and their children are still gone. So, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, and the fight really didn't even fight on either. But that's a whole nother topic.
That's a whole nother election cycle, but whatever.
I love Conductor's Tag too. Somebody said Conductor's Tag is great. Yeah, that what song was it where he just kept? It was like Conductor. Yeah, he was going crazy. Yeah, I love the production on this album. I'm a fan of it.
I like that. I always liked it more, Mike, and maybe this is get off my lawn. I always liked it more when you knew the producer from the style of beat and they didn't have to say a fucking word. It's like, no, that's Dre, that's Havoc, that's Primo, that's Pete Rock, that's Q-Tip. I can hear him. That's them. That's PJ Quick.
When do we get to that point?
Quick and Dr. Dre don't have no damn hashtag or nothing.
When do we get to that point, and who do you think?
I don't know. I just don't like it that much for a producer because it's like the rappers struggle enough as it is to find the tagline.
Well, who has the best tag? Off the top of my head, I say Metro. Who do y'all think started it in the chat? Because I think the first time I really heard it was Mike Will made it. I think.
I don't know. Definitely, Mike Will's in that conversation. I love Weezy Out of Here. Weezy Out of Here. Weezy Out of Here.
Nah, that. Metro don't touch you. Yeah, I'll be
waiting
for
that. Metro. It's Metro.
I'll be waiting for that shit to come in.
No, it's Metro. Metro has the best tagline. Hit Boy got a tagline like somebody just said. I was thinking about Just Blaze, but it's like, I don't know. Some people that it's like it's Funk Master Flex-ish.
Yeah. I think that this might have started. They say Maybach Music.
Maybach Music. Started? There it is. They have the best
Justice League. Did that start it?
Yeah. That's them, Mike. Justice League, Maybach Music. Yeah, that's them. It's them. And that's the best tagline too. Because when it says that, it's about to sound sexy. Like the production on this album, the Soul Separately album, sound like Rick Ross would have picked the beats. That's how good the production is. Like the Justice League track, Rabbit Vision, that might be his best mic performance on the album.
I think so too. We keep talking about this, Freddie.
But it fixed my vision. That's what I'm saying. Listen to what he's saying on the hook. A lot of shit, it broke my heart, but it fixed my vision. Yasin and Talib are not about to talk to you on that level like that you can understand. They don't. They literally specialize in talking above you and getting you to buy into the bullshit. No more of it. I'm tired of the bullshit. Give me Freddie. Tired of the bullshit. No, I grew up with the bullshit, Mike. It's just we grown now, so I can see them for who they are, really. It's easier when we all kids.
It is easier when we're all kids because we look to the people that are older and smarter and like, yeah, he knows what he's talking about. I don't. But then when you get old enough where you're like, well, we know similar things, you can't really talk crazy now.
Right.
You gotta
so it's
talk
like, I
to
believe
me.
all
You
that black
can't.
science and knowledge when I'm 15 and you're 18 and 19, but it's like,
Yeah.
no, fam, you 45, I'm 41. You saying some fuck shit.
You gotta talk to me. You can't talk at me.
Right. You saying some fuck shit right now.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Not like that. That's the wrong way to say it. But it's like, oh, well, them comments that you're making, they're not resonating with me the way they resonated with the child in me, the teenager in me. Yeah. Like, talk to me like the grown up and the man that I am. You talk like a grown up and like a man too. How about that? And we both gonna meet in the middle.
Well, man, it is going on 9 o'clock over here, man. We got to get up out of here. What I was gonna say,
we actually have to eat food at some point.
Yeah, like, what were you gonna rate this album? Because this is another difficult one. I think this is a very good album, but it does, where it lacks is where it wasn't trying to go in the first place. You know what I mean?
Right. So that's why it's hard to rate. So here's what I would tell you. I think song for song, it's better than the Benny album, but I would probably give it the same rating because the Benny album does some things album-wise that this doesn't do. And so, do you think it's better than the JID album?
I don't.
And so the JID is a 4.5, and we have Benny at 4.4, and we have JID at 4.5. I'm cool with sliding this right next to Benny at 4.4.
I'm with that.
Yep.
And I know Talib has an issue with people rating stuff so fast, but this is the world we live in.
I don't even want to touch that because that's one of those things that lets me know that you're out of touch. That's what I mean. It's like no.
You talking about the Source magazine when they would give people albums 6 months in advance? Like, listen, man.
First of all, it wasn't 6 months in advance. You weren't around when that was happening. So stop lying. That's the first part that he's lying about, Mike. He doesn't know anything about handing no album in 6 months in advance. If your album is taking 6 months to come out, that's because you're not selling enough and you're on a block burn.
Let's be 100% real though. Let's be real. If you turned in an album in late '97 and it doesn't come out until like March or let's just say May of '98, your shit's outdated now.
Correct.
There's no way that you could create an album in '97 and it sounds like it fits in the lexicon of '98.
Well, what I'm trying to say is that, Mike, do you think, let's go to 98. How long do you think Def Jam took to release It's Dark and Hell is Hot, Mike?
Not long at all.
You want to know why? Because they had It's Dark and It's Hell is Hot on their hands.
Yeah.
And so when he's talking about them 6 months waits, it's like, no, fam, that's you and the quality of the music not being there for the label to feel comfortable with it. Because I guarantee you in 1998, The Moment of Truth, when they heard that, The Moment of Truth, they were like, we got to get this album out, get these guys some single. When they heard It's Dark and Hell is Hot, Aquemini, Volume 2.
Let's look at Jay.
Months, maybe 4.
Let's look at Jay because he came out every single year. Reasonable Doubt sonically sounds distinctively different than Volume 1. Volume 1 sounds like 97. Volume 2 sounds like 98. Volume 3 sounds like 99. He wasn't holding these albums for 6 months.
No, he's holding them for like 60 days.
Exactly. You can't. The whole sound was changing. 95 sounds different than 96, which sounds different than 97, 98. You can't afford to hold an album for 6 months.
Hold on. In album mode, back then, you would drop a single when you got to about the third or halfway recording point of your album to get ready for your buzz.
Exactly.
And so within those 5 to 7 records, your single would come out and then you would finish your album and your album would drop and your second single would be dropping when your album's dropping. It might be a 90-day experience.
Exactly. Eric Terrell with the super chat.
6 months from is like, no, that's an album getting shelved when it takes 6 months.
No, you're right. Eric Terrell with the super chat says, Teddy Riley said, yep, and all his songs in the 80s. That was the first tagline.
Yep, Teddy.
Oh, we're going to take it back. Well, what did Babyface say in his records? All right, let's get up out of here, man.
Hold on, we one more thing.
Uh-huh.
We do have to rate Soul Sold separately.
We didn't rate that? I thought we did. We went on long tangents on Friday. I think we ended up rating it.
I don't think so. If so, what was the rating? Because I damn sure don't
think
remember.
It was like a 4.8 or something.
If it is, that's the same rating as the Black Star. So now we definitely have to put them up against each other.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, and this is me going back and listening to this album, Mike, I think the only record that you might skip is The Pain and Strife. The rest of this album is great. It's not classic, but it's great. Yeah. It's got legs everywhere. Like, think about this. Like, he's comfortable putting stuff like Gold Rings with Pusha T at track 12.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
That record is crazy. That's one of those records that usually, when your album's not a classic, you put a feature like that in the first 4 or 5 songs to give your album legs. His album is so good, he's like, no, that's closer stuff.
And actually, that's one of the best verses on the album, too. Push's verse, so.
I mean, and just real quick, and this not to take anything away from Gibbs, but that's why I hold Pusha so high. It's like when I hear Pusha on Palm Olive next to Gibbs, and when I hear him on Gold Rings next to Gibbs, and I love Gibbs the way that I am, and Gibbs is a great MC, and he's been one of the 5 to 7 best MCs of the last 10 years, in my opinion. Pusha T is on another level, Mike. He's a Jada Kiss level type of lyricist.
I agree.
It's a Jada Kiss level. Like Pusha T's a Jada Kiss level type of lyricist. And so not fair to Benny Conway or Gibbs in that regard when he's rapping next to them, because I know the lingo and the jargon and the rhetoric is comparable. It's like, oh, you're not him. That's today's Cool G rap. That's what I've been saying for years.
Oh, you're going to get people heated with that one. Well, let's talk Friday.
He's the modern day Cool G rap. He is.
Let's talk Friday. Got some new music coming Friday. I'm looking forward to it. Great show.
Not no rings and shit, just my main squeeze.